What is up, Team Boosted? Welcome to another video. Today, we're gonna finally get this running. Some unfortunate shit happened to Devin and I recently, and that's why we didn't make a video. And you know,
we had some oysters and got violently ill. So
when we say violently ill, like really freaking sick. Like, oh god, started barfing at 3 in the morning. Didn't stop. Yeah, we actually didn't know what it was. We started blaming it on Wendy's and shit, and then I realized that we had dinner with my cousin like 3 nights ago, and they both got sick too at like the same time frames, around 3 in the morning till like all yesterday. All yesterday was just awful, and we found out that it was raw oysters, which are bomb, but you're taking a risk when you eat raw seafood. It's worth it. I mean, I'll still eat raw oysters, but if it happens, you know, twice in the same year, then I think the reward isn't worth the risk at that point. But anyway, back to what we're doing today. First thing we're gonna do is tap the new scavenge drain. We're gonna hook up that pump, and then, as some of you call it, the unloved is gonna get some love in a big way. We have some really exciting news for the 240Z. We may have ordered some wheels. We may have ordered some coilover suspension. We may have a lot of things coming for this. Maybe some fender flares, and then someone might be stopping by about a new wrap color today. So yeah, lots of stuff. And we're gonna talk more about wide bodying this because there was some disagreement, I should say, in the comment section. We're going to explain a little bit about that, why we think it's the right choice, and in the end it doesn't really matter because we're going to do what we want to do. Not to sound like a dick or anything, but in the meantime, that's not going to happen till summer, so even if you plan on unsubscribing when that does happen, you could stick around at least till summer.
You get a few months.
So we're going to get this going now. We want to get it so we can tune it. We are going to put it on the dyno before any body modifications happen to it. And that means it needs to run, so let's get going. Get that shit out of here, Devin. I think that's a little long, Devin.
Yeah, it's a little bit long.
No, look at the cups he's sucking it down. It goes this way. I definitely want to see it shoot out now.
Looks great.
We've decided to mount this in the back. Devin's drilling the holes right now for the screws to go into. This is for the scavenge pump. What do you got there, Devin?
Sweet camera.
Why do we have a camera?
One of the washers for the intake manifolds we can't locate, so we need to verify that it's not inside the engine.
It didn't fall down there. It cost us nearly 20 grand in total to build this engine, so we really just
we're pretty sure it's not in there, but we can't afford to be wrong about that.
Test it with your nose, Devin. Take it out of your nose.
Was it gross?
We can only see this half of the piston, but it's a flat engine, so this is the bottom. So if a washer was gonna fall down here, it'd have to be down here, and it's not down here, so there's no washer in there.
Yeah, you can see the smooth section right there. That's a cylinder wall, and there is no washer in
All
there.
this gashing in the middle is because we jammed the camera into the piston like 1,000 times.
Yeah, we got it so that it was actually pointing more down by smashing it against the piston wall. That's just crud buildup.
Yeah,
that wiped off on the camera.
But yeah, there's no washer in there. That'd be impossible because it's facing down. It can't go the other way.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys what we got so far. Underneath our hood support, which is this thing, you'll see all the way back there the boost pump, or the turbo pump, the scavenge pump, whatever the hell you want to call it. And that runs down here. And then what we've done is, we didn't want to mess with any AN lines or anything like that. So we just ran a what is this, a 1/2-inch fuel line. We ran that into just regular old fittings, and this is going to scavenge up into the crankcase vent. And then, in addition to that, we redid the vacuum line to the turbo. It's directly to the turbo, and that's the only thing. That's the only source for this. There's nothing teed off or anything like that. So it's just wastegate to turbo, which is the best way, the safest way you could do it. And hopefully that'll never come off again. And then we're wiring, or vacuuming, the blow-off valve to a vacuum and boost source, which is on the throttle body back there.
So that'll actually work for once.
Hopefully. The source that we found is very small. That would be the only thing that prevents it from working, but it'll be obvious if it works. And all we have to do is put that on and wire the scavenge pump.
Scavenge pump, yeah. And put oil in it.
Yeah, let's not forget. Oh, the oil line in the back. We have some more things to do, but next step is driving it, so see you guys then. Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's a washer in it.
That thing's on?
Yeah.
Did you like feel it before?
Yeah, there's too much vibration right now, but when the whole thing's off, it vibrates. Go for a ride.
So we're driving and intake 2 popped off, lost all our boosts, and I look in the rear view. Devin's basically just naked back here being all fucking this is the most redneck shit ever. What are you doing?
Well, this is the second time this has popped off, and I think it's because everything in this engine bay is covered in oil. Because we're stupid and we put the intercooler in first and then did the oil. Alright, you gotta hold that real quick.
This is the second time, like Devin said, this has happened. First time we thought the engine broke because the boost cut off so abruptly and lost all power. This time it kind of just flipped off.
Alright, so we just tested out the wastegate, and it's stopping at about 12 pounds, so we're going to order up a lower spring. 10 would be ideal. We just don't want to tune for 12. That's a little bit too much for us. So
it's the transmission I'm worried about. And it's the fact that, I mean, if we had a professional tuner, I'd be down for it, but we're just street tuning, and I'm not too confident in my timing map, so I really don't want to run 12 pounds with a tiny intercooler. The other thing is that our eBay wastegate is not making mad JDM noises, so I'm going to put in the order for the lower wastegate and a new blow-off valve. Wastegate, right? I said that right?
Yeah, put it, well, new wastegate spring, yeah.
And we'll make a street tuning blow-off video, like we said we were gonna do. It's so I got a 10-pound spring, like 0.7 bar, but because we have high flow headers, it's a little bit more than that. It says that right on Real Street's website. If you have high flow headers, you should get a little bit lower than you plan to, because it would probably even out that way. So, you know, once again, that was my bad, ordering the wrong shit. I did what I did last time, but it didn't go up to 20, so that's good. It's a little bit more safe now.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to go that high.
See a surge up to 12 there. It holds at 10 and then it pushes a little bit past it. And I'm not comfortable with the bass tune that's on it to keep doing that, so.
10 would just be ideal, so we'll get that new spring and tune the shit out of this thing.
But when we get back to the house, we'll show you guys the finished setup, what we did with that oil line. It looks way better. Yeah. I'm also going to make sure that...
The fuck was it?
I'm also going to make sure that it's not leaking out of the compressor housing on the turbo, so... All good things, just spring's a little bit too aggressive for this tune right now.
Yeah, but it's cruising.
It's not broken.
Nope.
Okay, so it's for real this time when we say that the oil line is no longer the lowest part of the car. This seems to be working great. There's no oil coming out of the compressor, so that little motorcycle pump that we have in there is doing a great job. Everything's out of the way. Looks all good, so... Obviously we need to run it a little bit longer, but we got to turn our sights to the Datsun. While we're doing that, we will make the tuning video for this. I'm going to go order that thing right away. Yeah,
let's wrap this one up.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. It is, I want to say the last you're going to see of the Porsche until probably May, because we have a lot to do with the Datsun. That's not entirely true, because fully intend on making one more, the tuning video, and getting an actual blow-off valve that works.
We're just not going to be rifling off Porsche videos. We're going to start rifling off Datsun videos now.
So to put you guys on the inside of that, what we did recently was we had somebody come over, and we'll talk more about the collaboration later, but we had someone come over and bring like a bunch of swatches, and we picked a color for the Datsun. This is the wrap that we were going to do on the Porsche, but we changed of plans because the wide body thing. If you want to stick around, we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end, but for right now we'll talk about the Datsun. We picked the color for that, we got the fenders for that, ordering up the wheels tomorrow. I got the coilover suspension for that, so everything we need to make the Datsun not look like a piece of shit. On top of that, ball bearing turbo comes in on Thursday. We know what we're going to do with the lines for the engine, which is sitting right over there. So the Datsun is getting finished. I mean, relatively, things are never finished.
Project car.
Project car. It's getting wider, it's getting lower, it's getting better in every way. So Datsun fans, you're in for a treat this April. And then the Porsche will be making a return in a big way next month or early June. Devin's gonna go ahead and pick a winner for this video's giveaway. We're gonna really wrap it up now. If you're unfamiliar with our channel, we give away products from boostedshades.com every single video. That is also the best way to support us, guys. Head on over to boostedshades.com. What are you laughing at, bro?
This video's winner.
Oh, okay. Like I was saying, head on over to boostedshades.com. Best way to support us. It makes these builds possible. What's so funny about this video's winner?
It's Riced Out Ranger. When you contact us, send us a picture of your Riced Out Ranger.
Is it really Riced Out? That's interesting. All right, you hit us up at Teamboosted at boostedshades.com or through any of our social media platforms. We will get back to you and ship you a prize. If you guys would like to win, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment. Comment doesn't have to be related to what we ask you at the end, but we always ask you guys stuff. This video's question is related to other ones in the past, but it's different. Guess what color? And if you know anything about vinyl wraps, they come in many different flavors. If we pick, all right, so we're gonna pick a random winner, but if you also just guess it on the dot, we'll hook you up with a free pair. That's limited to one person. If like multiple people figure out how to guess it, because I guess there is a way.
I suppose there's still a lot of options.
Yeah, and there's a specific way they could figure it out, though.
What do you mean?
Well, see, you can't even figure it out, so I'll tell you that when the video's up.
Oh, all right.
So that's limited to one person. Guess what color we chose on the Datsun, and you're eligible to win. I mean, if you comment, you're eligible anyway. But if you just guess correctly, you can also win. You know, I've explained already. Let's talk a little bit about the poll. You know, if you're not interested, if you're already on board with the wide body, you can leave now. We're going to talk a little bit about the Porsche. What do you think the ratio on people who liked it versus didn't like it was?
I'd say it's definitely weighted towards people liking it, but there was probably 20 to 25% of you that absolutely despised the idea.
The people who didn't like it were very passionate about not liking it. The thing about it is our car doesn't have anything to gain from being original. It's a 1980 SC with 233,000 miles and the least original engine there is. It doesn't even have a matching numbers transmission. This is the second 915. The first one blew up. It would be, you know, and everything can be reversed. It would be cheaper and easier, even caught fenders, you could still reverse that. It would be cheaper and easier to reverse that than to try to bring our motor back to stock, change the compression back to stock, put the CIS back on it. That's never going to happen. It's always going to be a project car. We're not collectors. We stand nothing to gain from having a completely original stock SC. We're not going to flip the car. We don't plan on selling it. We're not in it to make money. The value of it isn't what's important to us. What is important is being able to go to shows and having a crowd gather around it, having it tagged in photos. It needs to advertise for us because that's how we make money to do these builds. It needs to turn as many heads as possible.
Aside from that, we like the look. I mean, it's a cool look. We like making cool cars. It's just something that we want to do, and most of the people who disliked it, like JP just covered, were in the defense of keeping it stock and original, and we're just not into that.
Yeah, you know, we would be, there's better candidates for that, and ours was almost like a barn find. We flew here from Massachusetts, and when we moved here, this had been sitting in a neighbor's garage since 1990, and it was all smashed up. That red fender was on there because that red fender is a Carrera fender. Like, there's nothing about, like, this car it has a garage paint job. It's not a museum car. It's not, like I said, there's better candidates for keeping it an original car. Ours has Ford Edis ignition system and it had a tractor turbo on it, we have the ability to make it even more interesting and make it our own. It already has 3-piece wheels. I think we've proved our mechanical and bodywork abilities on both cars.
Go ahead. The only other concern that some people showed was that we use the term budget. When we say budget, as far as talking about the Porsche, we're referring to like, we're going RWB with. To do an RWB, it's $25,000–$30,000. That's what we're talking about when we say budget. We're not just getting the cheapest wide body kit we could find on the internet and slapping it on there with, Elmer's glue or something like that.
No, yeah.
We're going to take our time. It's not going to be budget. It's also a very clickable title. We're trying to grow the YouTube channel.
It's still going to cost thousands of dollars. We're still going to do it right. It's still going to be color matched. Everything's going to be, all the hardware is going to be correct. All the measurements are going to be correct. The wheels and tire choices are going to be correct. We're going to bring it to Mirage International, have the suspension dialed in. We know all about the geometry. We know it's never going to quite be the same, but we can get it pretty good.
And yes, we understand that making a gigantic rear end is not going to up performance in any way, shape, or form, but it's going to up the head turn. So.
Yeah, that's what it needs to do. So, like, bottom line is, we think it looks cool. I mean, that's really, like, that's all I needed to say from the beginning is, like, we like it, so that's why we're going to do it. But from a business standpoint, from an investment standpoint, it's gonna probably gather a lot more people to this channel. It's gonna attract people who are into that kind of thing. We've never done a wide body before, and there's plenty of fans on YouTube. Just look at all those other channels. It makes sense financially for us to do. We can do it relatively affordably, and then the car is clearly, it's one in a million. Well, not one in a million, but it's far more unique than it is now.
But we thought we would let you in on that. This outro is like 7 million minutes long, so we should probably just wrap it up.
Well, we told people they could leave. And we were they could just skip all this. If they're on board with the wide body, they didn't need to listen to any of that shit. I mean, we really didn't even need to say any of this shit.
Yeah, what else are we gonna say?
I don't know. I like explaining where we're coming from. It's a business move, and you guys got to see an RWB in person. If you did and you still don't like it, then I'm sorry. We're still doing it. We saw it in person. We were totally against it before seeing it, and it just looks way more classy.
I wouldn't say that, but
classy.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the term classy.
Cooler.
Yeah, cooler.
Clean.
It looks definitely cooler. It does look
cleaner
clean.
than I thought. It doesn't
look like a fuckboy car or anything. But as far as classic goes, it's like a classic, sleek, stock Porsche. That would be classy.
Yeah, not
badass.
Classy is the wrong term. It didn't look cheap slapped together. Yeah. A lot of these body kits, they're cheap slapped together, shitty paint job. Not what we're about. We'll do it right. Budget doesn't always mean lower quality, and budget is a relative term. It's not a junkyard wide body kit. We respect the Porsche a lot. That's why it took us 18 months to build. That's why it worked the first time too.
We took our time.
The paint job worked the first time. The engine worked the first time. Everything we did,
we do actually care about it.
Yeah, we changed things that weren't perfect. We could have done the gravity drain for longer, but we didn't like the oil line where it was. So we care about the car. Trust us on that. If you still subscribed after all of this, thanks. If you're new to the channel, thanks. Thank you guys who watch and support us by visiting Boosted Shades. Thank you everybody who's been a part of this. And we have some exciting things to do this summer.
And we hope you stick around, even though some of you threatened to unsubscribe.
That's going to do it for this one, truly, this time.
Yeah, before we repeat ourselves 7 million times, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.